Hello everyone, so I'm here again with this shooting effect. So as you can see, one sphere is shooting another and there is some shooting trails, some energy smoke that's hitting this sphere, and you can see hitting area where they are hitting and emitting some sparks and fire, and you can see some heat distortion here. So this is the effect we are going to check. So let's begin and check out the elements and what particles I have used, what materials and textures. Okay, so this is my effect. This is the whole effect in one particle. Okay, and you can see full effect. So if I just isolate first particle, these are some shooting tails, and if you can see here, the color is random, rainbow color I am using, and these are emitting from here and just shooting here. So for this effect I used a mesh. Here is the mesh. If I open Maya, here is my mesh, one sphere, second sphere, and this is the mesh. So my tail just going through this strip of mesh and just hitting on this sphere. Because I have opened my UVs this way, you can see if I just select here and here, and if I grow selection, you can see the selection is growing through this strip of mesh and hitting that sphere. So when my texture pan through this texture, my texture will go through this strip and will hit the sphere. Okay, so I use this mesh, and here is my material. Okay, so this is my material, and for color you can see I have this gradient. You can take anything for color. If you want specific color, you can just change in the particle. So this color gradient is rotating, and you can see the color of these tail changing because this is rotating. You can see here they are changing color. So first of all, I have this tail texture that also have some random colors. So color is not issue. You can use any color what you want. You can just take a black and white tail, just a white on black background, and you can change color here. So what I'm doing here, first of all, this texture is scaled by UV, and I'm using append because I don't want to scale uniform. Append is dividing the scale X and Y. So on X is 2 and on Y is connected to the dynamic parameter. So I can choose whether my tails is long and short. Here you can see tail size 0.1 and 2. If I just put 2 here, you can see these tails are too long. So this decide random size of these tails. Okay, so these nodes are just to randomize the size. Then I want to travel my tails through the mesh. So for that I use panner, and again I want to pan only one axis. I want to pan on this axis. I don't want to pan this axis, so I fix one axis at 0, and again the y axis connected to a dynamic parameter where I using keys here, you can say constant curve, and I animating it here. Okay, so this is how I created these tails, and I use random rotation and rotation of life overrate. If I just disable these two, you can see this will only go on a static mesh that is not rotating. Okay, so these are just going through mesh like this, not rotating. So I'm rotating this mesh because the pivot of mesh is here, so I'm rotating here like this. So I'm spawning 5 per second and also rotating, so these are random, you can see, and hitting here. And in color I'm using white here because I'm using colors in material, so there is no color here. Then size, some random, not too much, and life random because I want some going slow, some going fast. So if I just do it like 0.1, all will be fast. Okay, just undo it, and so maximum life is 5 for some slow. Then I duplicated this emitter, and here I just increase the size of tail 0.5. So these two emitters are same, just the tail is long in this, and also color is bright. How I brighten the color, I just increase the white color 2020, and it's automatically increase the random color which is taking from here. Just increasing the white color, so it will increase random color. So these two emitters are same, just the tail and color power is different. So these going from here to end, just hitting here. Then third emitter is just a sphere from where my tail will shoot. This is the source. For this I am using a sphere mesh and material, very basic material, black sphere, and I'm using fractional for my edges, and here is white because it's connected to the particle color, and I am changing the white color into red here. So this is just a black sphere with glowing edge. Next, same sphere, just duplicated it and offsetted it initial location because I wanted two sphere, one is source and one is target. So same emitters, and I connected light in both spheres because I wanted light here. This sphere is emitting light. Then third, this is fire. If I just isolate these two, this is my sphere, this one, and the fire. For fire I am using this sub UV, and here I am using a velocity on every axis. Then I am using velocity overlap because I want my fire to go like this. First they are spreading, then they are going behind the sphere. So I am just using my curve like this. Okay, and I also using light initial location because I wanted to put my fire on target. And next is sparks. Sparks are placed on this sphere, and same process, velocity and velocity over life, and orbit for orbit random movement. See, and for texture material I am using this spark texture, although I can change, but it's okay, it's nice. Then I'm using these lights. It will not show here. You can here see some green light here, so it's just a light particle. Then some distortion. If I play, you can see here distortion just going from one sphere to another sphere, and you can see velocity only on x-axis. And for the material, I'm using a norm map that is panning, and refraction and opacity is 0, and you can see distortion here. So distortion. Then some smoke. So this is a glowing smoke that emitting from a sphere that and targeting to another, and you can see the scale over life is from 0 scaling to 1, then scaling to 0. If I show you the curve will look the same. This, as you can see it visually here, curve is same from 0 to high to 0. Okay, and changing random colors, you can see starting blue, then orange, and then yellow. And for material, I'm using this noise texture, and these two are panning on different axes like x and y, and I'm using add node, and when they overlap each other, the white part just burn and show a glowing edge because of this SDR node, and just connected it to emissive. And for this round shape, I am using this radial and connected it to opacity, so it cuts the noise in round shape. And here you can see the magical smoke like a plasma. Then here last, a smoke that emitting from this sphere, here a wispy smoke. I'm using a sub UV here that I have created in Maya. You can create in any of your 3D software, and using this sub UV here emitting from a sphere. So this was my Hall effect, and let's check it out in viewport one by one, all the emitters. So first, this is my first emitter. This tails going through a mesh, random color in material, and just traveling because I'm using panner in my material. Then second, it has long tails and high saturated and burning overpower color. Then third is a sphere here, the black sphere, just glowing edges because of Fresnel. Then again a sphere here where my streaks are just attacking or just hitting. Then I'm using a fire on the same place and using velocity or life to show like they are emitting from the attack position. Then using some sparks, here you can see some sparks, and then lights, you can see some green random lights here, not too much but just for feel. Then distortion, you can see here heat distortion, and smoke, some magical that is scaling from 0 to high to 0, and last some smoke emitting from this sphere. So this was my Hall effect. I hope you liked and you learned something, and you can add more elements in it more colors, more random shape of this mesh. This one you can change whatever you want. So this was my effect, and if you have any query, any suggestion, just comment below this video and subscribe my channel, share, like videos, and keep learning. Thank you.